Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. In today's video, I am ranking my last 10 palettes. I can't believe we're already doing one of these. I feel like I just did one yesterday, but alas, I have tried 10 palettes recently and I'm here to rank them. And of course, as usual, I initially got this video idea from Annette's Makeup Corner. I will have her channel down below. Please go subscribe to her if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm just gonna chat about the most recent 10 palettes that I've tried. If you think I'm missing one, I either featured it in the last one, it's coming up in the future, or I simply have not tried it. Promise you, I keep track of all the palettes that I'm using so that I can know when to film these videos. I have done videos with all of these palettes, either on YouTube or Instagram/TikTok, or sometimes both. I will try to remember to speak on where I've done each look so you can go get inspo if you need it. But before we get into the ranking, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and TikTok by the time this video goes up. And as far as my accessories go, these plugs are Love Kills Boutique. This choker was a gift from a friend. And this is the Jordan ponytail from insert name here. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and rank my last 10 palettes. Okay, so with these palettes, I cannot stress enough that I really don't dislike any of these. I truly liked them all. I was really impressed with a lot of them, and it was really hard to rank these, and I think I'm happy with my final decision, but a lot of these could have been moved around. This one was a really tough one to rank. But kicking it off with number 10, as much as I don't want to put this one in the number 10 spot, something had to go here, and it ended up being this one, mostly just because I had the most gripes with it. Number 10 is going to be my Game Beauty Cyberpunk palette. It looks like this. I really like the colors in here. So with this palette, I feel like on one hand, I think this might be my favorite color story that Game Beauty has done so far. But on the other hand, there are some formulas in here that I wish were different. So just because of that mostly is why I ranked it down low. For instance, I love the really special shifty dimensional marbly shimmers that they've included in their past palettes. There isn't a marbly shimmer in here, and I'm really sad because I feel like that's kind of what I've expected from Game Beauty. And also there's two mattes in here with like shimmer pressed into it, which isn't my favorite. Like I want either a matte or a shimmer. Typically the little shimmers dust away anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It basically acts as a matte. But if I'm gonna be nitpicky and have to put something as number 10, that's gonna be the reason to do so for me. I just feel like this palette is really cute. I really enjoyed the look I did with this. I did post a look on Instagram and TikTok, by the way. I just feel like I wanted a little bit more with the formula, if that makes sense. But it's not a horrible palette. It's just not quite there for me. And the other palettes I do like more, so that's why this one's number 10. Moving on to number 9, I'm giving it to my Unearthly Cosmetics Vitality palette. I did also do a look with this on TikTok and Instagram. It looks like this. I think this is super cute. I really like the mixture of grungy shades and like bright colors as well. I think it's a really fun match. I like how it's kind of chaotic. I think it's fun and just weird, and I love that. I don't really have a solid reason why this one's ranked so low. I guess like part of it is I love the other palettes going forward more, and also I don't know, maybe I'm just like not as inspired to use this one as the ones going forward. However, I do like this one significantly more than the Game Beauty one, just because I don't really have any issues with the formula. I will say I feel like these shimmers aren't quite the same as some of their other shimmers. Like some of their other shimmers in their palettes are like so wet feeling and shifty and sparkly. These ones are almost a little tame in comparison. Not bad, just tame in comparison. So maybe that's like another reason why I knocked it down so low, but it's really not a bad palette. I've enjoyed using this one. I think it's fun. I mentioned this in my Roundup reviews video recently as well. I've had some people ask me to compare this with the Ace Beauté Paletopoly. I personally don't see any similarities. There's a couple similar vibes, but really they're not the same palette, so I personally don't even feel the need to compare them. I chatted about it more in that Roundup review video though, if you are interested. Next up, number 8 is going to be my Sigma Alice in Wonderland palette. I did play with this in a Get Ready With Me on my channel, and I think I also did an Instagram video /TikTok with this. It looks like this. It's so super cute. This was my first time ever trying Sigma's eyeshadows, and I was so impressed. For some reason in my mind, I just assumed Sigma's eyeshadows weren't gonna be my favorite thing. I assumed their cheek products and brushes were where it was at, but this palette is so good. I was so impressed with the pigmentation on the mattes, and the shimmers are really pretty. They just look very metallic and wet looking. They're not crazy sparkly or anything, but they're very rich looking on the lid. I really like the looks I created with this, and I was just so impressed again, just with their quality. I wasn't expecting this. I don't know what I was expecting, but this definitely exceeded my expectations for the brand, and I'm really excited that I got to try it. They actually just sent me another palette. I just picked it up out of the mail today. The Cinderella one, which I know has been existing for a while, but I'm obsessed with this color story and I can't wait to play with that soon, so just stay tuned. Next up, number 7 is my Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette. And I know what you're thinking, Betty Jean, why is that palette ranked so low? You love that palette, and I really do. I feel like starting here are all palettes that I could have seen being in like the top 3. Honest and true. The only reason this one's ranked so low is just the color stories going forward, like maybe either pull at my heartstrings more, or there's really, really special shimmers in the ones going forward. As much as I love this palette, there are only 3 shimmers in here. I would have maybe preferred like an extra 1 or 2. And the other color stories just pull at my heart a little bit more. As much as I love this, I cannot stress it enough. It is a perfect autumnal palette. It is amazing. I've talked about this in a favorites video. I talked about it in my autumn's favorites video, and I don't want you to think that just because this is in 7 means it's bad. A lot of these you're gonna see really high in my like final ranking at the end of the year because I love it so much. But there had to be an order and I ended up having to place this one here just because I like everything else a little bit more. But I am loving this. I love that we have the really warm, delicious orangey red side and then the more cool toned fall vibe side. This plays so well together. I did play with this on my channel and also on my Instagram/TikTok. So I'm loving this. I think it's a fantastic palette. I have truly nothing bad to say other than maybe I would want a couple more shimmers in here, but it is a really wonderful palette. Next up, number 6 is my Celestial Garden palette between Bella Beauty Bar and M. Jones 5018 on Instagram. It looks like this. This palette is a lot of fun. We have 6 delicious, shifty, magical shadows, and then we have 4 split pans of water-activated cake liners, so we have 8 total. This one is just so much fun to play with. Even though I'm definitely leaning more towards like the fall, the Halloween vibes right now, this just makes me really excited. I really like the shimmers in here. I really like playing with the liners, and I really like that the liners are in here just because it kind of persuades me to use them like very easily when I'm using this palette. I did do an Instagram video/TikTok with this, and I did also use this in a video on my channel paired with another Bella Beauty Bar palette that I will get to soon. I'm having a blast with this palette. I really don't have anything negative to say. I'm really glad I finally got to try this brand. The mattes were really pretty to work with, and these shimmers, their shimmers steal the show for sure. Like their mattes are good, but their shimmers are amazing. That is where it's at with this brand. Moving on, we are getting into the top 5 now. Number 5 is my Unearthly Cosmetics The Weirdos palette. The inside looks like this, so super pretty. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. Unearthly launched 4 new like horror Halloween-esque palettes, and they asked me to pick one, and this is the one that I picked just because this particular color story screams to my soul, and I am loving this. I had such a blast playing with this one today. There's kind of this like smushy, putty feeling shadow that I did smear all over the lid initially, but I did tap a little bit of feather all over pretty much everything on my eye because I love the way it shifts. I think this is an amazing Unearthly palette. The mattes are beautiful and the shimmers are just out of this world. I am having a blast with this palette. I almost ranked this one a little bit higher, but the next 4 did beat this out by just a little bit, but I'm having a blast with this palette. I think this is fantastic. I do also plan on playing with this on my channel as well, so just stay tuned. But as of right now, there is an Instagram video/TikTok up already. Next up, number 4 is my Teresa is Lethal palette between Teresa's Dead and Lethal Cosmetics. Just look at this, it is amazing. I'm so excited they collabed again because their first collaboration was such a fantastic release, and this one is just so wonderful as well. I am so impressed by it. These mattes are so fun. They're so weird and bright, but also grungy. And these shimmers are so cool. Specifically that silver, such a bright silver shimmer. It is so amazing. I did play with this on my channel already, and my Instagram video/TikTok is probably going up after this video because I haven't filmed it yet and I don't think it's going up first, but that will be coming soon as well. Having a blast with this palette, the whole collection in general, the blushes, the highlighters, the liners. They knocked it out of the park with this collection, and I'm just so excited for them. This is such a fantastic release. I really thought this was gonna make it into the top 3, but the top 3 did beat it out by just a little bit, but I am having so much fun with this palette. Moving on to the top 3 of these last 10 palettes. Number 3 is my Bella Beauty Bar Strange and Unusual. I feel like this palette kind of blew up a little bit in the indie community. I've seen so many people talk about it, so many people lust over it. I think they're about to open another pre-order if I'm not mistaken. I think I just saw them mention that on their Instagram, so I would keep track of their Instagram because their initial launch sold out, then they ran 2 pre-orders which also sold out, and I think they're deciding about a 3rd pre-order just depending on the demand. So if you want this, go voice your opinion on Instagram. This is so much fun. I did play with this on my Instagram and TikTok, and I did also pair this with that Celestial Garden palette on my channel. I love the Beetlejuice vibes. Beetlejuice is one of my favorite things ever, and this palette is just so cool. Again, the mattes are nice, but the shimmers truly are the best thing ever. These are such fun shimmers to play with. I'm loving this palette. I actually included this in my makeup travel bag when I went on vacation recently, which I did show all the makeup I packed with in a vacation prep vlog, if you are curious what I brought with me. But this is one of the things I brought, and I love it. I think it's so fun. It's such a beautiful palette, and I am very happy to include this in the top 3. Ranked number 2 is going to be my Fantasy Cosmetica Bard palette. It is so much fun. Perfect for autumn. It is gorgeous. I'll always say this, but so far the Druid is my favorite palette that has launched this year from them. That was their first release ever. And I mean, aside from my own collab, that is my favorite palette I have tried so far this year. And since then they've released the Sorcerer, which I also love, and now we have the Bard. I love this. I don't love it more than the Druid, but I do love it more than the Sorcerer. These tones are just so fun, and these shimmers are amazing. Their mattes are so pigmented, but so buttery. They blend so easily, and their shimmers just take my breath away. They are so reflective and shifty. I am so excited for their 3rd release. I think this is a fantastic palette. I did play with this on my YouTube channel. I think I did a 2 looks video, and then I also did an Instagram video / TikTok if you need some inspo. And I'm loving this palette. I'm so excited about this brand. I am so excited to see what else they do in the future. I think they are killing it so far, and I have a feeling they are gonna just do so well. They are already killing the game, and they are just starting out. And finally, ranked number 1, drum roll please. I'm giving number 1 to my Gourmet Girls and Doodles by the Bunny collab, the Spooked palette. It is so cute. Doodles by the Bunny makes amazing concept art palettes on her Instagram where she's just creating a picture of a palette, a digital picture of a palette, but she creates the coolest color stories, the coolest concepts, and she's done a couple collabs now, and I'm just so excited to have one of her collabs. This is so pretty. This was also my first time trying the brand Gourmet Girls, and I'm very, very impressed. These mattes are so pigmented, and I really liked how they blended out, and these shimmers just stole my breath away. The brand also did send me 2 other palettes in their existing range, which I will try. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I'm very much in Halloween mode right now. But this has been a fantastic palette to play with. I'm obsessed with it. I knew immediately this was going to at least be in the top 3. And like I said, a lot of these palettes I probably could have shifted, like the Bard, the Strange and Unusual, the Weirdos, the Lethal Cosmetics one. Those all could have potentially been number 1. But this one ended up being number 1 because it's bringing a lot of joy to me right now. I also took this traveling with me. I think this is a fun palette to play with. Pumpkin is just such a stellar shade. I love this palette. I did play with this on my YouTube channel, by the way, and on an Instagram video / TikTok if you need some inspiration. And that about wraps it up for my latest ranking my last 10 palettes. I would love to hear your thoughts. Did anything surprise you? Do you want any of these yourself? Do you already have any of these? I would love to chat down below. If you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave me your last 10 most recently used emojis? And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I am battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. Kanata, did you want to come in? Come on in. Oh, now you don't want to come in? That was rude. You can't ding-dong ditch me. Kanata, you're gonna ding-dong ditch me again, aren't you? It's kind of rude when I'm trying to work. Come on in. Hello. You gonna stay this time? Oh, there you are. Oh, Kanata. Kanata, Kanata, Kanata. Look at this brat. Hi. Goodbye. No, now you want to leave again? No, ma'am. You're going to stay in here now for the duration of this video. Ow, you just jumped on me and it hurt. Why do you gotta be so mean?